Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow, and I am joined tonight by Brian Starkey. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kyle. I'm actually really excited that we're finally getting into this very soon.
Yeah, I know. For all you guys at home, we've been delayed just a little bit. That 4 p.m. Pacific's turned into 5 p.m. Pacific, which has turned into 8 p.m.
Eastern for me and Kyle.
Yeah, we're on the beautiful East Coast here. Man, it is storming tonight in Atlanta. It's
I actually wonder if the University of Kentucky is having any of this this crazy rain we have in Atlanta too.
We're all in sort of the same area, a little further west, guys, on Kentucky, but that is all the same. If you're just joining us, Kentucky's been having some technical difficulties getting all their players rounded up and together. But hopefully we can have a pretty exciting match for you coming up tonight, right?
Yeah. It's actually going to be really great. We have Maryville versus Kentucky, Game 1. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the standings for us to just kind of look at those, see how both the teams got here, kind of the teams that they had to beat to get here as well.
Sure, yeah.
So let's start with Maryville, right?
Match favorites, some would say.
Yeah, some would say Maryville, match favorites. So Maryville actually was in the same group as Central Michigan University. So if you tuned in on, I believe it was Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, I did a cast of Central Michigan versus Kansas State.
Yeah, that was such a fun series, too.
Yeah, it was 3 games. Kansas State won the first game pretty handily, but we saw some really good signs of life from Central Michigan.
Right, they stayed together, they held it, and came out the better team, right? They won in the second 2 games.
Yeah,
with some really amazing play to get back on their feet.
Yeah.
What is important to note is that Central Michigan's one loss is to the obviously undefeated Maryville.
Exactly.
And I had the pleasure of casting that game with, I believe it was Rapid who I cast that game with.
Okay.
And, man, Rapid had the right name. Those games were over like that. Maryville came in to the next best team, right, Central Michigan. And I want to be polite, but I also want to be fair. So Maryville, to give context, won both games in under 40 minutes total. So both victories were sub 20 minute. I believe the first one was in 18 and some change, a little over 18 and a half.
Oh boy. The
second one was under 17 and a half.
Goodness me.
So Maryville is definitely a very competitive team, has some very highly ranked players.
Yes.
Don't want to get too much into that. But a couple have crossed that Diamond 1 border. We'll say that. Gone a little bit higher than their lowest players at Diamond 3.
That's right.
Which is more than I've ever aspired to in League of Legends. So very impressive.
Same.
On the other side, though, Kentucky, right? We'll pull up their standings here in just a second when we can. A little bit more of an X factor. We've not seen them streamed in a CSL game, right? But here they are. They're in the round of 16. They've only suffered 1 loss throughout the entire run so far.
Right.
And it was to Robert Morris.
Like, the pinnacle of what I would say esports, at least collegiate esports right now. Like, Robert Morris has, like, a great CSGO team. They have a really, really good League of Legends team. Like, Lord have mercy. Like, between them, UBC, UCI, like, those teams are just, like, I would say the pinnacle of esports. And the fact that Kentucky's only loss was to them is actually very, very good. So
right, absolutely.
And that also kind of gives us a skew about, like, since Kyle and I have never really seen Kentucky streamed, like, we haven't actually watched any of their games, so we don't really know the lowdown on...
Right, like I said, they got that X factor.
Right, and so, like, we don't really know what the other teams in that division were really like, because everything is really skewed when you have Robert Morris, like, in the same, like, even in the same division as you. And so, we have seen ranks not matter before.
Absolutely, right. Yeah, I mean, it is just, at a collegiate level, it's such a team game. We've seen the higher seed come in and just get walloped on plenty of times in League. And so I think you and I cast something like that on last Friday, the remote cast we did. Struggling to remember the teams, but the bracketology had just come out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we'd had there was a higher seed upset in that regard, and it was a lot of fun to cast.
Yeah, so. And it was actually the same. It was the same way in the Central Michigan KSU game as well. KSU, I believe, came in with that higher seed. Well, no, I'm sorry. Wait, hang on. I'm trying to remember now. It's all confusing. Once you start to cast so many games,
right?
You just it just kind of flows together. So
that's the advantage of having like the 10-man league or the 10-team leagues, right? That everyone gets to, that all the casters love to run because you can get familiar with these players. And so for us, it's always a treat to come back to some players we've already cast.
Right.
Seeing Maryville again here with some familiar names is at least a big old plus for me there. So.
Yeah, and that's actually. That's one of the things, like you were saying, we enjoyed the most, being able to revisit teams. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the one thing that I kind of liked about the original tournaments that you and I used to do, like those 2-day, 8-hour-a-day tournaments.
Yeah. Just getting slammed on them.
Yeah, and there's just so many games, but it was great because we were able to go back every game and just kind of reference the rest of the games and some of the players and the picks they like to go to. And I think overall it just makes for a more in-depth cast. It's enjoyable for you and I to do, but also really enjoyable for the viewers.
Absolutely. So we are getting word these games should start in about 5 minutes here, hopefully. So mid laner from Kentucky is logging in and everything's getting hunky-dory right now. So hopefully we're in it to win it pretty soon. And I'm excited. It's always nice to see an unknown team come in. It's always nice to see a known team. So we got a little bit of best of both worlds there.
Right.
We are going to take just a quick second to talk to you guys about some sponsors.
Yeah.
While we have the downtime and free to do it, because I believe once this hits the ground, we're going to just want to get running with that. So if you got 2 ears to hear about some great organizations involved in esports, going to give you a shout about 3 of our favorites. Band Gaming, first off. Band is a social app and the primary social app of the CSL. Many features such as creating groups, which can be good for your CSL team or club, boards, calendar functions, polls, chat, and as a recent call functionality. Band is a premier social experience for you and your fellow gamers alike. You can find out more at band.us/home or find them in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. You can join our CSL community there at band.us/@CStarLeague.
And next up, we are going to give a huge shout out to Twitch, the streaming platform that you are currently watching this stream on. As always, we have nothing but gratitude for the largest streaming platform in gaming to support collegiate esports, PAX East and West, gaming events all over the world, and individual streamers. Twitch is huge. CSL wouldn't be what it is today without the help and support from them, so be sure to be on the lookout for some cool opportunities to get involved with Twitch in the near future, and be sure to show them some love for their support on twitter.com/Twitch and facebook.com/Twitch.
Absolutely. Lastly, we have Asus. We want to welcome Asus to the CSL family for the 2016-2017 season. Provider of everything esports. Trust me, we mean everything, but we'll get back to that because we, ladies and gentlemen, are finally in Champion Select Tier.
That's right. We are going to get going real fast.
Little client sound for you. Varus Band off the bat from the side of that Maryville. They don't want it to be played against them. Odd Prototype actually played this to very much success in his game that we cast earlier in the season, so he's no stranger to it. Doesn't want to play against it, though, so.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Right now, as we actually have been talking relatively often about the strength of the lethality build, did get nerfed a little bit in 7.4, but Jin and Varus are still top tier because trying to balance out lethality around the rest of the items takes some time.
Absolutely. Casio Band as well, so CKG is actually getting one out of his champion pool. I saw him play that. This is odd. They're trying to keep me on my toes, I guess, with their...
They don't want to let you let everyone else in on their game plan by talking about what happened before with champions that are happening now.
Right.
Because they gotta save it for the next round.
Absolutely.
If they win. Yeah.
Thresh take it away from Free Papa Chow. They don't want him to take that one up with the Hookmaster in the house, so we'll be out of the pool. And eclectic band so far. We've seen 4 roles banned, and that'll make number 5. No, I'm sorry. It's still 4. We need a top laner to make it all 5 roles suffering a ban. It's 2 jungles. Normally we talk about some pressure being applied to one particular role. This time it's more of an even, spread across this piece of toast that is League of Legends.
The piece of toast that is League of Legends. I didn't realize you were talking about my toaster of a computer, Kyle.
Oh, boy.
I'm actually a little bit surprised by that Rengar ban, personally. We haven't seen a lot of Rengar ban played since 7.3. Got nerfed pretty hard. So seeing Rengar come out, maybe that's a pocket pick for the level 100 Liger, because, Liger, Rinvar,
Okay,
both
see,
a
I
cat,
get it.
Right? Real quick, the Karma pick did get taken away, but then the LeBlanc being picked up very quickly
Instantaneously.
by
Wow.
CKG. It sounds like maybe he was just gunning for that at the start.
Yeah. So CKG, very talented player indeed. And you have to be to insta-lock LeBlanc, right?
Yeah, especially in this meta where you don't really know what you're going to be up against.
I would guess Orianna. First pick LeBlanc always screams Orianna to me.
I don't know,
especially
man.
with a Casio band off the table. But you never know. You're right.
We could see John Pablo just like bust out a Zed.
That is true.
The assassin versus assassin, because we've seen a lot of that 1-3-1
That's very much
before.
back in favor, right? No,
Yeah.
it makes sense on all accounts there. Nami Jin picked up, so that is both known AD carries from the side of Prototype out of the pool.
Yep.
Anything from this point on is a mystery. I would not be surprised to see an Ashe. She's in favor. Caitlyn as well, an option there. Possibly the Ezreal.
Yeah, and I was gonna say we still see Zyra being in favor as a support.
Yeah.
I mean Lulu is not bad as a support either right now. Callista, she did receive some buffs. I believe it was back in 7-2.
Really? I had no idea.
It was a while ago when people were talking about how Callista would be good again. I think I've just been kind of waiting for the moment where Callista would be good again.
Right.
They made some changes to the way her rend works a little bit. And things like that. I'm trying to remember, so if we keep talking, I'm sure they'll come to me in game.
Someone tweet them to us or something. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
You'll see our Twitters here in a second, so you can, or actually just tweet at CSLLOL, and they can tell us.
Yeah, the producers will get it to us at some point or other. Taking their sweet time on these next couple picks. Side of Kentucky is erring on the side of caution. They don't want to give away too much, trying to draft cleverly. They've picked up that bottom lane in the first round. Now the variables that they have is only the counter pick for the mid laner, so they will have to pull something in here blind.
Oh, there it is.
They're going to go with the Corki. Suffered substantial nerfs in the latest patch surrounding his rocket. Actually, on all accounts, base damage and scaling on AP and AD. So he's not going to be the same potent champion we've seen there in the past, but he's still, he's Corki. What can you say about him? He is a rock in mid lane. Just very solid, very safe play. And, something you might want against that assassin. Has a nice escape in case LeBlanc tries to get too friendly.
Right.
And so forth.
As long as he's able to dodge those chains using his Valkyrie to get away, I think that Corki pick is not bad. He does have an easy way to return burst damage, assuming he can survive through the initial burst.
Right.
He can return damage relatively easily. So, Corki is not a bad pick, especially when you have a Jhin, you have an Elise, you have a Nami. If Nami lands a bubble or if Elise lands a cocoon, you can do the lockdown with Jin's W, and then you can use Corki's phosphorus bomb and his rockets to kind of do some stuff with that. And, oh my goodness, Chody Walrus, you told me, I believe it was that he picked up that Lee Sin one game, and he just went, to the wall.
We saw him pick up a Lee Sin game in the game number 2 of their game against CMU, and I think in the 17 minutes in which they finished the game, he'd accrued 10 of his team's 20 kills on that Lee Sin.
Huh.
So I'm really excited to see. So Chody Walrus is a very aggressive, in-your-face jungler, and maybe that was just how he chose to play that day against the side of CMU. Very good team. But now up against level 100 Liger on that Elise, we're going to be interested to see, because Elise is no slouch in the jungle role, right? She's one of those champions that can sort of do it all. She fits to whatever mold her team needs, because you can be aggressive with her. You're not as good of a defensive champion, but really good if you're just minding your own business and farming. Really good if you're minding everyone else's business and taking their jungle away.
Right.
So it has a lot of options through her play, and we'll see what they run with.
And I think that'll be a fun matchup to see between level 100 Liger and Chody Walrus on that Lee Sin, because Lee Sin is very, very aggressive early on in terms of being able to counter jungle. He's very strong early with his Sonic Wave and Sonic Kick combo, things like that. He's able to put out a lot of damage early, but Elise is also a relatively strong early jungler with a fair bit of sustain to help her live through those as well. And so I think, assuming that level 100 Liger is able to land those cocoons effectively, I think he might be able to capitalize on Chody Walrus' aggression a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely so. So all it takes is wrong place, right time for the team that is counter jungling, and everything can go quickly awry. They did lock in on the last round, a Season 7 classic matchup in that Maokai versus Nautilus. Maokai suffering some pretty heavy nerfs as well in the latest patch. Nautilus, not so much.
Didn't really get changed, yeah. So the changes to Maokai really affect his ability to farm safely under his turret. Before, there was really no downsides to picking Maokai, especially in terms of what he was able to bring to the table as a poverty tank, but also as as a just being able to survive and be fine when he gets ganked.
Right.
So what they did is they changed the amount of mana his Arcane Smash costs, which is one of the primary ways he uses to farm under tower, and just a way to like kind of harass your opponent down a little bit safer.
Yeah, it was 45 mana at all levels, and now it starts at a base of 45 and works itself up 5 mana per point you put in there. So 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. If you can count along at home.
That's right. Unfortunately for you all, I had an international trade and economics midterm last week, so my ability to count is extremely defunct, so I'm relying on Kyle to hook a brother up with this. The other thing that got nerfed on Maokai in that 7.4 patch, right?
Okay.
In the 7.4 patch was the change to his sapling toss, which actually does not have landing damage anymore.
Right.
And it's
base damage is still the same. Everything else, it's just the landing damage.
Oh, okay.
All they've done is that now when it like pops in the middle of all your minions, it's not going to chip them out a little bit.
Yeah. So that actually affects his ability to farm under tower a lot too.
Absolutely, and his ability to push, right? Yeah. Because I mean, now every top laner in current favor has something through their build. With most, it's the Sunfire Cape.
Right.
That's going to kind of give you an edge when you're just kind of auto split pushing minions and getting some of that wave clear that not a lot of top laners have in the Shen and Nautilus department yet. But that Maokai, the Sunfire Cape, is not necessarily the first thing you're going to gravitate toward. And so...
Yeah, I think the one nice thing about Maokai is you can actually kind of shift what your build is early on to kind of whatever is happening in the game. It allows you to be a little bit more reactive because he is one of those more effective farmers under the turret like we were talking about earlier. It's been hurt a little bit, but I mean, he's by no means like bad.
Right, yeah, it's one of the appropriate nerfs on the end, right? It's not one of those overcorrections that takes a problem and solves it by nuking anything that's related to the problem, right? Yeah. It's one of those that takes a problem and trims it up and leaves us in a place where we can still be happy about the pick. And so a little bit more of a challenge for Saskew. I believe the games we saw him were more aggressive styles, so we'll see how he turns it around. But we are going to turn it over to a quick commercial break right before this game. You'll hear from one of our lovely sponsors, and then we'll be here finally with some League of Legends action.
See you all soon.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are loading in on the final stages, and on the blue side, it is Maryville, the favorites, I think, in this one. Very high seed, undefeated so far. Saskew on Maokai in that top lane. Chody, Walrus, repping the jungle. Lee Sin, CKG running in that mid lane with the LeBlanc prototype, and Free Papa Chow are rounding out that bottom lane with AD and support.
And for the side of University of Kentucky, we have PixCXX. I actually kind of just want to call him Pixie.
Okay.
Pixie in the top running that Nautilus level 100. Liger running that Elise in the jungle. John Pablo running Corky in that mid lane. Rex Sum playing Jin in that ADC role. And Cold Eye running Nami in that support.
Absolutely. be surprised if we see much coming out of the level 1 on this. Is likely just going to be safe standard stock starts for these teams. Plural, it is plural.
Team.
These team doesn't make much sense. So, interesting to see if both of these do decide to start their top side, show off a little bit of aggression in that bottom lane early on, just through their jungle pathing starts. Kind of doubt it. I think his current meta favors, especially with supports as defensive as Nami and as Lulu. Doubt anyone's going to be trying to get those ganks off, particularly Lee Sin, prior to that level 6 top lane seems a much safer bet.
Right, and actually something that I didn't really get the chance to talk about a lot was kind of the fun synergy that you have with Kalista on your team.
Yeah,
cool. Just between a lot of your champions, right? You can use Lulu to actually engage with that, put her at a safe distance using the Kalista ultimate, and then Maokai during that knockup period when Lulu uses her ultimate, Maokai can close distance, and then all of a sudden you have a very easily engaged team fight and relatively safe.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Just Lulu as well being a pretty big knockup threat with the ultimate self-channeled if it does come to that. Probably want to save it for the lines, a little bit more daring play coming out of the side of CKG, but you never know. If there's one thing I've learned in my very limited, admittedly, experience with the guys from Maryville, it's that expect the unexpected is the old cliche advice there.
Yeah, that's right.
Expect some aggression, I guess. That's pretty expected.
Yeah, and I think that's the one part where I disagree with you a little bit initially about the aggression of Nami and Lulu as laners. Lulu can actually be very, very poke heavy early on and very obnoxious to play.
I said the defensive play. So I was talking about like in terms of deterring jungle ganks.
Okay, see, never mind. Then you are completely correct.
I have failed in my articulation as a caster, and I apologize to
Pixie
you and
is
any
take
fans
a lot
at
of
home. Yeah,
damage.
he's gonna have to flash or die here. Saskew, a little bit aggressive on the flash, did want it, couldn't get it, and a little bit reflexive, like, he flashed all flash, but has effectively really put a hinder on Pix's lane here.
Yeah, I agree, and that actually is one of the things that is bad about Nautilus, is he does take a little while to scale up.
Look at this, the counter jungle is in full effect. Level 100 Liger has nowhere to go, and likely will be first blood. It's a nice flash, but it's just a matter of trying to dodge out of this. Lulu, she flashes in for it, but the summoner heals there. He connects, he's under tower, and Chody Walrus is out, showing his tusks to the world.
That was a very, very good gank, and that's actually what we talked about with that early aggression from Chody Walrus. Level 100 Liger missed the cocoon. And
Gone.
Yep, it's donezo. When you miss that cocoon on Lee Sin early, he is going to land that Sonic Wave, he is going to land that Sonic Kick, and you are going to take that damage.
Likely, yeah, and especially a player like Chody Walrus, who's not afraid, to take a tower shot level 3, and just kind of eat it on the face. AD's still got really nice health. Support is still there with some CC, but it's like, you know what, I can do this. Just let me at him.
Yeah, and I think...
Oh, now it's the all-in from CKG. He's just standing there autoing through it. He's got it.
What?
No, wait, he doesn't. He died. Okay, that's interesting. Very aggressive. Did trade the 1-to-1, and
that was spicy.
I think both players are sitting there typing mid-no sums now, and both have flash up still for it. Actually, I feel like CKG Maya could have actually flashed out of the last little bit of that and still gotten her last auto attack off.
Yeah, I have to agree, but if you're gonna why risk maybe dying? Because now you have both mid laners have their other defensive summoner.
Yeah. I mean, it's a gentleman's trade, right?
That's right.
Man.
Do what's fair and correct, sir.
Holy cow, this lane aggression is not stopping, forcing exhaust at every turn. Wrexum is having to pop out with very little health. We'll probably try to stay in lane just through this last wave or so. You definitely don't want to miss out on that cannon minion so early on. And gosh, the slap fights are just left, right, and center.
Yeah, I'm lucky you even have a chance to breathe right now.
Yeah.
So I was going to say something that was in relevance to the... just so between Corki and LeBlanc, they both have their defensive summoners up. If one had flashed, the other would have followed.
Okay.
Because, we would have seen a Pixie versus Saskew thing that happened in the top lane, right? Where, except for in this case, they both probably would have died no matter what.
Right.
Because Oh, hang on. We have a little
Exhaust
Spitfire.
is coming down. Ro16 is in a lot of trouble. Flashes away, but you can't flash the Callista Rend, and that's going to be bad news. Prototype flashes in on this. He's actually going to dive the tower as Chow takes up all the damage. Does get killed to the side of Cold Eye in return, and Papa Chow limping out of that one. Really close play. They almost had that, and the side of Maryville plays like there's no towers in the game.
Yeah. They really want to get those early kills because, they're already putting the side of University of Kentucky behind.
Right.
And just in terms of CS, not just looking at kills, but if you look at CS across the board, University of Kentucky is falling down across the board. And that a lot of that falls on the back of the early aggression from the kills and just from their early aggression in terms of the slap fights in lane.
Yeah, absolutely. They're keeping up a lot of pressure just on the health bars, right, of these champions, and the waves are sort of complemented through that. It's like you can't push the wave if you're afraid of walking out away from your tower. So that is an aspect of this game in which Maryville has been playing incredibly well off the back of this 6-minute start. Not quite seeing the aggression I thought we might out of Chody Walrus so far. He's been reserved in his Lee Sin, but it makes sense. How do you push a lane when all your lanes are pushing?
Yeah, and when all your lanes are winning, too. And he's sitting on that first blood gold as well, himself. That 400 first blood gold. So he is...
Put that to good use.
Yeah, going ahead and picking up, I believe that's the Hunter's Knife? Tracker's Knife?
Tracker's Knife.
Okay. Yeah, Tracker's Knife allows him to put more wards down all over that. Obviously, ideal as Lee Sin. Pick up the warding jungle item, so that way you can sell your warding trinket, get a sweeper, but also have that nice little quick escape button to safeguard too.
Right, yeah, it's the classic Lee Sin hop out, ward dash, all the fun insect mechanics that we've come to know and love and might just see here as he waits off in the wings of top lane. Saskew is coming in for it, does get a nice twisted advance. There's a good minion wave, and that's the ward hop backwards. He's not even used his Sonic Wave to connect yet. Does find it is only level 5, doesn't have the ult, so a good flash out from Pix might just save him here, but he opts to run away from it, and Chody Walrus will connect with that last combo to finish off the kill and put a second one in his pocket, netting Maokai a little bit of assist gold on the back end.
Yeah, getting that 150 gold, pulling him about 13 CS ahead. He is going to probably finish off that wave and then be able to push right into that tower, get some damage down. I mean, we already see the bottom turret down to about 2/3 health.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see more pressure applied on the top lane. Pixie is going to lose that, lose some minion pressure from that as well. Kentucky playing off the back foot right now.
Yeah, absolutely right. The tower pressure is pretty nuts right now, so.
Yeah, and
CKG wants this. He's going to go in.
Oh, boy.
He's in a lot of minions, though. I don't think he'll do more than just take a nice harass combo.
Yeah, and actually...
Or he will, because he pops the Ignite, comes out of it, is exhausted, doesn't want it, does want it. Who knows with this guy? It's a guessing game to the grave.
Yeah.
And John Pablo guessed wrong on that one.
And that actually is really sad. John Pablo still has his flash up as well. The thing with that duel that actually surprised me a little bit is how well CKG timed that timed the turnoff of the...
Ooh, hang on, we'll get to that in a second. Level 100 Liger has very few options as to where to come down, and they're all right in the face of Chody Walrus. He is going to be able to get out of that one. The Jin 4th shot doesn't connect yet. Lulu's behind him. They don't turn it into much yet, but it should be a pretty easy kill for Prototype coming out of the back. Cold Eye, just a formality to sort out paperwork. Does get shorted, and eventually Papa Chow is the one left with his signature on the kill.
Yeah.
And 9-2 so far for the side of Maryville as they pick up an easy double down on the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's the aggression we see of Chody Walrus, right? I mean, Chody Walrus rotated, CKG rotated. They wanted blood. They were gonna get it,
Right.
because that's their style. Like,
Yes.
What do you like? How do you fight someone whose style is to just like fight you more than you want to fight them over and over again? Like, what?
Right. I think in terms of just like straight up draft theory, you ban aggressive junglers.
Yep.
And then you try to signal a mid pick early that's going to want to put them on a mid pick that doesn't do as well roaming.
Yeah.
And that's the best macro strategy I can think of to come to bat here.
Right. Or like the other alternative is pick a team fight, like pick a team that's like just as good at team fighting and being aggressive as
Right.
as the side of Maryville.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice flash coming out from Callista. Papa Chow finds another one, his third of the game actually, boasting better stats than the carry he's supporting, at least for a little bit there. They were both 3 kills, but the assist game and the lack of a death was given Papa Chow. That's a nice little advantage. That's a good feeling as support, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I usually just get flamed.
Dude, it's because you played Derek.
Oh, man. First tower of the game will fall. Credit goes to, you guessed it, Maryville. Prototype takes that one.
This is spicy, dude. We're sitting here at 10 minutes and 50 seconds, and we have more. We have almost. A little less. A little more than a kill a minute.
Right, yeah, we're stepping over that line, tiptoeing it so far. Dragon will help. CKG,
he doesn't care.
yeah, is not really worried about this 2v1. Does pop back with a nice LeBlanc. What is that? Is LeBlanc that has? It's called Distort.
Yep, distortion.
Oh, distortion, gotcha.
Yep.
Well, with the help of Chody Walrus, he's coming in here to at least deter the remainder. It seems like every time someone from Maryville joins this fight, there's one more from the side of Kentucky just to keep the number game well in their favor. And it's going to be a slow run as they stall for Prototype to join this mid lane scramble. Not much looking to happen.
No, not a whole lot. The health bars from the side of CKG was a little bit too low to try to do anything there. Chody Walrus had a couple of his skills on cooldown.
Nice flash, but does not connect with the Cocoon. Prototype still in a good bit of trouble. Will get the ultimate from Papa Chow to survive, and John Pablo will not be so lucky as to survive. Cold Eye on the back. Nice kick from Chody. That is going to be Prototype going down, but now Cold Eye's running for his life, and Pix is going to say, hey, that's not a half bad idea, mate. Might copy your style there. Jeez. And they're both having to hide behind this mid tower. Saskew, though, we've seen they don't care much for towers on the side of Maryville. They're not too concerned with something so informal as a tower. It's a flash to try to get away, but
oh my goodness!
Unfortunately for him, that is a LeBlanc Lee Sin combo you're flashing away from, and so likely not going to mean too much. Brian, I feel like I'm hogging the mic from you here. It's not me; it's the game itself.
So, okay, so here's the deal. That last team fight, the footwork on Prototype, he dodged the Jin bolts, still doing damage, kited away John Pablo. Wrexham had to go all the way under the mid lane turret to get to him. Free Papa Chow with the peel, with the overgrowth on Lulu. I mean, he's just like, what?
I know.
Just the team fight play for Maryville is so good, and that's not to take anything away from Kentucky. It's just like Maryville is so aggressive.
No, I know.
It's just like, gah.
I don't think we need to take anything away from Kentucky because Maryville's been doing enough of that for us, right?
Have mercy, Lord.
It's bad. 18-3 off the bat of these 13 minutes. I haven't quite broken open the tower game that Maryville is accustomed to just yet. We'll see how quickly they start setting up these dominoes as the game progresses, but we're sifting into a little bit of a lull where all you can find is a team fight, right? The bottom tower is gone, the outers are standing but well guarded, and there's no dragon to play around on the map, so what's the objective except for slow sieges? That's going to be mid tower. They're not going to take this one so slow at all, actually. They're going for John Pablo under the tower, and Prototype's got it very cleanly. The Cocoon doesn't land, but the damage is still significant. Doesn't matter as the double kill comes through with a really nicely timed ult to keep Prototype alive. They're going to pull out all the stops, though. Triple kill so far. Doesn't matter. Prototype says we'll 2v5 the world. Papa Chow is in his corner, and there is no stopping these guys.
That was insane. Lelise was borderline about to kill. Oh, hang on. Prototype's going back in under Cold Eye here on this turret real fast.
It's just another one. Unofficial Penta incoming. Looks like... No! The shutdown flashed in. Got a little bit too cocky from the side of Papa Chow. Said, no, you take this one. I said, oh, wait, no, you got...
Yeah, well, Prototype actually messed up the cooldown on his Rend.
Ah.
So he was waiting for the Rend to come off cooldown to finish off the Jin because he was going to have to kite away.
Actually, if anyone from this game is listening, please report him for that. It's a bannable offense.
How dare you wait for your cooldown to get a kill? Darn you 80 carries.
Look, I'm not saying he's 20 or 75% of his team's death. It's just the stats are saying he's 75% of his team's death.
Yeah, but he's also 50% of his team's kills, Kyle.
75 is bigger than 50%.
Don't do this.
Taking advantage of the rare lapse in your number game.
So The other thing that I want to talk about is, hang on real fast, it looks like CKG does want to go in on level 100 Liger.
Yeah,
and he's probably not going to get it. He actually might die here. Nope, having to flash
Get
it.
off a little bit more than he could chew in that regard.
Whoa.
Papa Chow, though, dominating the 6-0 and 12 Lulu carry here is the real story for this game. And is doing quite the job. Prototype is in onto this one. They're behind the towers. They don't even care. Pix is going to come through. How long can they keep Prototype alive? It's long enough as they take the double kill. Just eating through everything that Kentucky throws at them.
I want to analyze this game and be like, oh, they did this and this right. But this is just pure aggression by Maryville, catching Kentucky completely off guard and just not even caring. They got so far ahead at one point.
Woo!
Look at this.
Yeah.
I don't know what?
Prototype is just, is that a 2v2? Is that a 1v2? Did have the buffs from Lulu, but did all the damage and didn't wait for much CC. Just hopped right under tower and jumped all the way through to another 2 kills in his back pocket. 14, 3, and 5.
Blade of the Ruin King is finished, which I think is a 2,700 gold item, something like that.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah, Runin's is 21. I think, or 22, and he has both of those items before 20 minutes. Are you freaking kidding me?
They're going for it. He's in onto John Pablo again, takes that one. CKG's actually getting the credit for this one, and Prototype dancing with death yet again, but there's a very nicely timed ultimate from Lulu, and I don't think Prototype can get himself out of this one. I'll be very impressed if he does with the double kill. Well, color me impressed for you on that one, Prototype. This guy is a living legend. 16, 3, and 8. The inhibitor's gone sub 20 minutes.
Jeez. Hello, Bork, my old friend.
Oh, boy.
That's what that was. Blade of the Ruin King, Runin, pulling that lifesteal. He was getting lifesteal from minions. He was getting lifesteal from Jen. Jen was exhausted. It's just you can't kill him.
Oh, no.
He's too big. He's too big. I don't know what to say about that. 135 CS, it's 16, 135, 3 deaths, and those 3 deaths were they had to go the last person alive for the side of Kentucky is the one who killed him.
Right.
It wasn't even a good trade.
No. You can barely even call it a trade so much as just hostile terrorist negotiations coming out from Prototype.
That's right.
And another Cloud Drake to just speed up that team that already wants to rush at your face. So
yeah,
non-ideal for the side of that University of Kentucky. Saskia, though, locked in the 1v2. We'll see what he comes out with.
Maybe not too much.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that we saw the power of Callista Lulu with that first Cloud Drake. They chased down so many targets who thought they were safe so quickly because of Pix that gives the speed up, and because of the Cloud Drake. Have mercy. Wait, Maokai is teleporting into the middle of the enemy base?
Yeah, he knows that they don't really have too many answers for him at this point. Level 12, when the highest on the other side is only 10. Most on are 9 still at an average, so this is quite the throw down from him. The rest of his team is backed up too. It's going to be a nice kickback onto the Corky, but not nice enough to land any kills. Pix is the front line, but he's being actually left behind in the race to the fountain. Saskia gatekeeping on that one. Prototype clearing out minions, and Walrus with a nice Lulu ultimate will be hugified at the exact right time to come in and crush this. Well, it wouldn't be Maryville if it weren't the threat of a sub 20-minute game. They're going to go in and find Liger. They're going to find Cold Eye as well. A couple others as Wrexham and Pix are dead here on the board as well. John Pablo, the last man standing for his team, rendered in fountain, can't heal fast enough, and they're going to do it. Sub 20-minute victory. You thought you were going to surrender? Too bad. You can't.
You don't even have the chance.
They're just playing with him at this point. That is rough. 40-5 in a 19-minute, 30-second game. Nearly 20K in gold in the lead. And that's 7 towers, but they didn't even knock down all 11 towers.
Yeah.
That's 20K gold without the 11 towers.
Hang on, 40 kills at 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's 2 kills for the side of Maryville every minute.
Yeah, that's roughly every 30 seconds they're finding someone and destroying them. Feels about right.
Yeah, that felt about right for how quickly that cast went for me.
All right, if you're in the Twitch chat, do me a quick favor and press F to pay respects for that game. We'll see what Kentucky can come back with in game 2, right?
Yeah. It is by no means over.
It's a best of series, right?
So there's plenty of time for them to recoup.
Sure.
let's like not give Prototype the Callista, or maybe not give Chody Walrus the Lee Sin. You know, a couple of small adjustments.
I'm being told we're experiencing some technical difficulties with our stream. Some people are saying that they can't